Today on Ballistic Burgers, by request, we're going to be doing a showdown between the frozen smashed burgers from Aldi's and the frozen smashed burgers from Walmart. Let's get going. A couple of videos ago, I did a review of the frozen smashed burgers being sold at Aldi's. It's a brand called Cattlemen's Ranch. And I was shocked at how well the video did in regards to views, comments, and also I was receiving emails. So what I learned from that is there are a lot of people that are consuming these pre-made frozen, you know, the Bubba burgers and the Aldi's burgers. So one of the videos was a request that I compare the Aldi burger, the Cattlemen's Ranch, to the smashed burgers being sold at Walmart, which is a brand called HOLTEN'S Chop House. So I thought that'll be a fun video. Ran down to my local Walmart and I bought these. These are, again, their brand they're selling, HOLTEN'S Chop House. So I thought that'll be a fun video, a kind of a showdown, like the thriller in Manila, so to speak. So I ran to my local Walmart and I bought these. These are the brand they're selling, HOLTEN'S Chop House. And I paid $10.48 for this box. It's 32 ounces, 8 4-ounce patties, just like the smash burgers from Aldi's, the Cattlemen's Ranch. These are $8.79 for a box, but it's 32 ounces, 8 4-ounce patties. And I want to point out, because this was one of the questions in the comments, what else is added to the beef? The only ingredient listed on both of these boxes is 100% beef. So if we're going off of what they're saying, these are 100% beef. It says it right there on the front of the box. Anyway, let's take a visual comparison here. So right off the bat, you can see there is a pretty significant difference in the way they look. This is from Walmart, the HOLTEN'S Ranch, and here's Aldi's Cattlemen's Ranch. This looks more, you know, it looks less processed, I guess is a good way of saying it. And this looks very similar to the Bubba burger in that it's, you know, heavily processed. And I don't really get those, you know, kind of perforations they put in there. What I'm thinking is they're mashing these things down pretty hard. And this is a way of ensuring that, you know, you'll get a tender bite that won't be too tough. But again, and I'm going to tell you this, there's no sponsorship involved here. This is my personal opinion. I just, you know, we got our Aldi's not too long ago, and I have enjoyed my experience there. But believe me, I'm not shilling for Aldi's at all. There's a ton of crows right now. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so here are those two patties side by side. You can see the Aldi's looks definitely a little natural. Anyway, the rubber's going to meet the road when I'm eating these things. So let's hit the grill. We'll get them cooked up. Flat top's running at medium high right now. Put both patties down. And I'll be cooking these per the instructions on both of the boxes. And that is 4 minutes on this side. We'll flip it and go for 2 more minutes. Season it with a little salt. Looking at this burger from Walmart, it actually looks a lot better now, flipped without all those perforations, because one thing I like is you can see the individual pieces of fat. Unlike, you know, the Aldi's, it's all kind of blended together. Some brioche buns. They're both shrinking a little bit. This one's puffing a little bit more than this because it's very, you know, heavily packed. Get a little bit of a curl right here. That's probably why they're putting all the perforations in to keep it from, you know, cupping. All right, 4 minutes. Nice crust. Nice crust. We're going to go for 2 more minutes. All right. Buns are just a little bit too big for these patties. So I got a little bit of criticism on my last video as far as how I dressed it. So I made the decision not to do cheese on this because I wanted to just taste the beef. And I'm definitely going to go a lot lighter on the mustard. I'm going to basically dress this how McDonald's would dress their basic hamburger. I mean, really, really simple. So I'm going with some very thinly sliced, I mean, it's almost shaved onion. This is the way I love a little raw onion on a burger, but I like it to be really thin. And some little pickles. I'm going to go with a little bit of mustard. And a little ketchup. And I like a little ketchup with mustard. And then we'll crown these. Right off the bat, I'm going to say, as far as the shrinkage, they shrank about the same. Both of these burgers are almost exactly the same size. I'll show you that. So you can see, when I built the burgers, I intentionally pushed the patty forward towards the edge here, so it wouldn't look like a mushroom, I guess. But you can see about the same. Remember, they're calling these smashed burgers in the past tense rather than smash burgers. So the real difference between what these are and actually making a smash burger is when you're smashing that fresh, non-frozen meat onto the griddle, it's sticking, it's adhering to that hot griddle. And that alone is going to really minimize the amount of shrinkage you get. When you have a frozen burger on the griddle, it's not going to stick at all. And when I'm cooking on a flat top, I want my burger patty to stick. I want to have to scrape that off because I know I'm getting an awesome crust that way. But with these, they're frozen. You're literally thawing them out on the griddle. So it's just the last couple minutes where they're actually cooking. And there's all that steam underneath and everything. They're not going to stick as well as, a real smash burger. So this is the ALDI's burger. Now I've already had this one. Let me try the one from Walmart first. Is it HOLTEN'S Chop House? Smells good. And again, very basic. This is about as basic of a burger as you can get as far as the build. It's a little dry. Let me compare it from this one here from Aldi. Aldi wins. These are cooked on the same burner, on my flat top, over the same burner. The Aldi burger is definitely a lot moister. Flavor-wise, they both taste decent. I really think that 4 minutes per the instructions is just a little long. I think I would go 3 and 2, or maybe even experiment with 2 and 2, but 3 and 2 would definitely, by that 3-minute mark, both of those burgers were showing, a lot of moisture on the top, which is telling me the center's done. I mean, it's pushing all that water to the surface. If I were to cook these again for myself, I would go 3 minutes instead of 4 on that initial cook, flip it, and then I guess another 2. But I think 4 minutes is just way too long. Flavor-wise, it's kind of a toss-up. This does have, a looser feel just because of all those perforations. It's just a little drier than the one from Aldi. But, wow. Anyway, I appreciate the suggestions to do this video. Yeah, it's interesting to me because I know there are a lot of people now that are buying these burgers because I was getting a lot of messages from folks. So, yeah, my advice would be to play around with the timing of the cook because they're erring on the safe side as far as FDA stuff, but I don't think it needs to be cooked that long. 4 minutes just seems like an awful long time to cook a little thin burger like that, even though it is frozen. But yeah, they're not terrible, I'll tell you. But I know that, again, my personal opinion, I like these better than that thick, the Bubba Burger, the regular Bubba Burger, because it's just, in my opinion, that the Bubba Burger it has a kind of a tough, kind of a chewy texture. But yeah, anyway, thank you for stopping by, and I appreciate your comments and the emails. If you have any requests, you can either leave it in the comments or shoot an email to me. My email address is in the description box. I'll tell you right now, I'm probably more apt to see it if you shoot me an email. So if there's something you really want to see me do, email me. Other than that, if you're new to the channel or if you haven't subscribed, please consider ringing that subscription button. It helps a lot. Ring the notification bell. Thumb it up if you like it. I hope you did. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.